Hi. Today I wanted to address a misconception that I think many of us have, specifically dealing with the energy in the world right now. There's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of fear, and I think a lot of us feel like we can't do enough. We want to help, but we're not sure how. So I wanted to address that today and talk a little bit about it. Not everyone can be an activist. Not everyone can be a warrior, not in the traditional sense. And so I think sometimes that leaves people feeling like they're not enough. It leaves them feeling sad and depressed, and again afraid, because they feel like they can't change their situation. And I think a lot of times it leaves people feeling guilty if they're not going out on a white horse to meet the danger and conquer, or going out and protesting and holding a sign or taking someone into their home, or any other grand gesture that seems like it's what's needed right now. But honestly, we all have a certain power within us, and everyone's power is different. But ultimately, everyone's power is just as important, whether that power is keeping a calm face so that your children aren't afraid, or maybe that power is explaining to a friend why it's important that they care about people halfway around the world. Maybe it's just going inward and keeping your stuff together, your internal turmoil. Maybe your power needs to be that you don't lose your shit. Sorry. But whatever our power is, even if it doesn't always seem like it, it's just as important, and it is absolutely perfect for us, regardless of how that power looks. We've been made to believe that the only way we can affect others and affect change is by making big, grand gestures. That's the only way people will know that we've helped. Well, I've got news, folks. That's an ego idea. Our human ego believes that in order to make a difference, we have to be seen, or we have to be heard, or we have to move mountains. We have to act in the physical world. But honestly, acting in the energetic world is so much more powerful. So today I want to examine the question of how you can best interact with the collective energy right now. So I'm going to do 3 readings, and I invite you to choose one of the readings or more than one of the readings if that resonates with you. And so the first reading, group number 1 here, is a Shungite Harmonizer disc. Group number 2 is a Tibetan quartz point, actually a double point, possibly even, yeah, there's 3. And they're all double terminated. So Tibetan point. And group number 3 is Soapstone Harmonizer. So 1 Shungite Harmonizer, 2 Tibetan Quartz, 3 Soapstone Harmonizer. So take some time, take a deep breath, feel into the cards, and choose which one speaks to you. Also, just by way of some housekeeping, I don't typically read reversed cards, and I won't be reading reversed cards in these readings either. So this is the reading for group number 1, the Shungite Harmonizer. And today we're going to be asking Spirit for messages on how you can best interact with the collective energy right now. And I don't typically start out with a card already pulled, but when I was shuffling this particular deck, I was pretty certain this is the deck that I needed to start out to use, and this card flipped out twice in a row as I was trying to shuffle. So I decided that this card was necessary for this reading. So I'm going to start with this one already on the table, and it is the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles talks about harmony in the material world. So a pretty important card for this reading. So again, creating harmony in your material world, creating balance in your material world, and being fair is what the 6 of Pentacles talks about. You'll notice there's woodpeckers and squirrels and birds and all number of mushrooms and trees, and they're all living very symbiotically, sharing one space. So I think that for an overall reading right now, this is a very important energy. So Spirit, what other messages can you give us right now about how group 2 can best interact with the collective energy right now? So the first card that we got is the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords deals with heartache. Been stabbed in the heart repeatedly. So obviously group 1, right now you are being really heavily affected by whatever is going on in the collective energy right now. If you're watching this video near the time that I made this video, of course, Russia has invaded Ukraine. So it makes sense that this heavy energy would be predominating. But anytime, there's always heavy energy, there's always fear, there's always hurt. But you are feeling this deep in your heart. We also got the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is saying that you need to work to master your emotions and make them as happy as you possibly can. This is not going to be easy. It's a big leap that this orca is trying to make to reach that cup. And the cup right now is not full. But there is so much water available. There's so much emotion. So being the king of cups, the king is, the top of the heap. The king has, he is the leader. He is the one who teaches and leads by example. And he also exemplifies, the King of Cups exemplifies love and joy and happiness. So this card is saying the best way for you to begin to interact with the collective energy right now is to try and counteract this pain in your heart that this is causing and remain positive, see the positive things. And the next card actually talks about that as well. This is the Eight of Cups. And again, in this card, there is a lot of positive emotion. There's a lot of potential emotions here, but you're moving away from that. You're flying away. It's as if you can't even notice it right now. So you're being pulled into not seeing the joy that is around you. So you need to, again, work to master this energy, your thoughts, your feelings. Look for things that make you joyful. Don't turn away from them. There are things, and don't fall into the trap that because there is sorrow in the world that you have to be sorrowful all the time. You don't. We can care about others' pain without having to mimic it ourselves. We feel genuine pain for people who are being harmed, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing happy in your life right now. So we need to we need to focus on what is positive and bring that to the forefront, and lead by that example. Be more positive. We also have the 10 of Pentacles. And the Pentacles deal with our material reality. And this material reality says that you have a happy life. You have a beautiful family. You are fulfilled. So part of the message for you to best interact with the collective energy right now is don't deny that you have this abundance. And I don't mean that in a way that's, punitive, like, your parents tried to guilt you into eating your meal because other people don't have food. That's not what this is saying. This is saying that because of this fulfillment that you have in your life, you have the strength to help those around you, to help others, to be positive. So notice this, feel into how wonderful it feels to be in a place of abundance, even if that abundance isn't necessarily monetary or wealth, but just an abundance of people who love you, an abundance of stability in your life. So again, turning away from this is not the way to best serve the collective energy right now. The collective energy needs people who can be stable, who can be nurturing, and that's what this card wants you to do. And this card that we got, the Knight of Swords, this is urging you to I want to say I'm hearing feed your indignation. And I think that while it doesn't serve anyone to wallow in heartache over what's happening. It does serve to say, this is an injustice. This isn't right. There are innocent people who are being harmed. So take up that sword. You don't have to be, you don't have to be going out marching in the streets. You don't have to be joining up. You don't need to be doing any of that. You certainly could if you want to, but this is just saying, don't lie down and say there's nothing that I can do. This is saying you have the strength of character. You are a good person who cares about other people. So if someone else is defending a position that whatever evil is happening in the world right now is for the best, or that it doesn't hurt anybody but the powers involved, let them know that's not the case. Let them know that there are people who are vulnerable, and those of us who have this abundance, those of us who have this stability, we need to stand up for these people. We need to stand up for the people who can't, who don't have the resources, who don't have the ability, who are in an untenable position right now. And we can do that by just making sure that everyone knows and feels that this is not right. This is something that we should always strive to protect against. Whatever this may be. Even if you're listening to this in a time when things have settled down in the world, there are still people who are oppressed. There are still people who are not seen as worthy or enough or as good. We have to defend those people. We always have to be there to defend those people. And if you are one of those people, then someone else is going to defend for you as well. And you also can understand that, even if you're in a tough place right now, you do have abundance. You do have the ability to be this strength. So, that's a message on how to best interact with the collective right now. Don't wallow in heartache. Your situation may be heartbreaking. It may and probably does actually physically cause you pain in your heart. But don't get stuck wallowing in that. Use that to empower yourself to stand up for others, to stand up for the situations that cause that pain in your heart. So I want to know also, Spirit, let's get a little more information on who it's most beneficial for you to be interacting with. Who can you interact with that will best serve the collective energy right now? Okay, well, this is a really powerful message here. So, the first two cards, I believe, that came out are the Hanged Man and the Empress. And the Hanged Man can signify a number of things. One that this card can speak of is self-sacrifice. And not so much in a way, not so much in an active way, but self-sacrifice in that if someone feels like they need to let off steam or rant about something, and you can feel that it's coming from a place of fear and anger and frustration and a feeling of helplessness, then you can listen to it without fighting back against them. You can take on that burden to unburden them some. The other energy here, the Empress, is a very maternal energy, a very unconditional love energy. So again, you know, if you've got someone in your life, or many someones, who are struggling because they feel helpless, and so they're angry and they need to vent, even though you know that it may not or likely won't change anything, them venting, and it might even be quite hurtful, you can take this motherly stance, this unconditional love stance, and just let them blow off steam. You can be that shoulder to cry on. You can be that punching bag for them, for lack of a better word. I mean, if a mother, even if their toddler has a tantrum, if their toddler is absolutely being terrible and throwing things on the floor and demanding and lying and kicking and screaming and crying, the mother will still be patient with that child, because she knows that this is coming out of a place of being frustrated, of being tired, of being afraid of losing love from their parents. So they're testing. So you can be that loving energy. You can be that sacrifice, and let those who need to vent, be supportive to them, but not supportive in that you condone their behavior necessarily, but just hold space for them. Let them blow off steam. Show them that you're not going to run away just because they're having a tantrum. You're going to be there for them, and you're still going to care for them. The other cards that we got the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is sometimes about being too much in your head, which may come into play with this. But in this instance, I'm feeling like this is telling you to be careful what you say. And maybe we're going back to, you know, this energy here, that, you know, if someone's going to blow off steam and really get in your face, your reaction, everyone's reaction, might be to snap back. But this card is telling you that your communication, your tongue, can actually harm you if you're too sharp with your tongue. So watch what you say. Stop and think before something comes out of your mouth, and try to understand where the other person is coming from and what do they need from you before you speak. The other card that we got is the Justice card. Justice is about balance and fairness. And I think that this card is saying that while it might not seem fair to be hurting yourself, to be aching, to be frightened, to be abused, that when you allow that energy to be balanced by the good that still exists, by the abundance that you have, by the people around you who love you, by the emotional happiness that you already have, and emotional happiness and love that you're working toward, it will balance the scales. And I think that this is also talking about there's going to be coming up a balance to things. I'm getting the message that things are going to balance out soon. So if you're in this energy, this might be not only letting someone vent to you, but this Hanged Man is also all about waiting and trusting. So combined with this, I think this is also saying that if you wait and trust and be patient and watch your tongue and be loving, that this energy is going to start to resolve soon. So let's cross our fingers and keep that in mind. So, Spirit, what is the manner of interaction that will be most successful for group 1? How should they be interacting? What is their best action or inaction to take right now for group 1? What is the best action or inaction for group 1 to take right now? Okay. So we got a major arcana card, New Beginnings, which corresponds to the World card in tarot. And this card signifies a great ending and beginning of a cycle. It's a very hopeful card, and so I think that combined with the Justice card, this does indeed tell us that things are going to come to, if not an end with the tensions, at least they're going to come to some sort of an agreement, a balancing. So this, again, this is a hopeful card. This is saying that one cycle is going to end and lead into a much more hopeful cycle. So we also got the Page of Raphael, which is about Raphael corresponds with cups. So again, it's an emotional card. And pages are young and hopeful, and so this again is speaking to a hopeful outcome, a new emotional situation, messages regarding relationships or social invitations, great intuitive insights. So this is talking about, again, with the other cards that we have, this talks about a very hopeful phase that's going to start something new and less heavy, less tainted. This is going to be more of a youthful perspective coming soon. We also got the 2 and the 5 of Gabriel. And Gabriel is about action. Gabriel is about creativity, about action, about fiery action. And so the 2 of Gabriel is about setting out to see what's out there. So, I think that this card, make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. So this is saying, don't just sit back and wait to see what's going to happen. Again, we're getting back to this Knight of Swords kind of energy. This is saying, you know, see what's out in the world, venture out a little bit. You don't necessarily have to go out and slay the dragons and save the world, but this is saying, you know, don't just hide out. Make a little noise. See, maybe just take a look around and see, maybe become better educated about what's going on right now, what it is that's happening in the energy that you feel you need to interact with. And the 5 of Gabriel talks about resolving a challenge. So if you're finding that, I feel like this is about someone else's challenge, and I think that maybe the 2 of Gabriel is also dealing with this. There's 2 individuals here, and they're kind of setting out. So I feel like maybe the best way that you can interact right now is to maybe champion someone who's having a hard time. You can be this knight for whoever it is that is maybe, having a hard time with things that are going on right now. They're angry about it. They want to act, to move, to fix. And so I feel like maybe your role in this, interacting with this energy, is not so much necessarily to go out and be an activist and be right in the muck of things, but be somebody who is supportive and enthusiastic and realistic and a safe energy and a supportive energy to someone who maybe is a little bit in a whirlwind. They're so caught up in their emotions and their anger that they can't get past that. And so maybe, these 2 cards are saying, help that person walk a path that calms them down, but still keeps their fire burning. Because maybe your job is to support this individual. You've got that family energy in the cards. You've got the solid abundance that's a good foundation, a good launching point. And so maybe, your task to interact with the collective energy is to be a support to someone who really needs someone to help them calm down, someone to help them understand and tolerate, so they can channel their passion more effectively and help. So, I think that might be a lot of what this message is saying right here. That maybe you're that supportive person. You've got this grounding energy, you've got this abundance, and it hurts you in the heart to see what's happening right now, but you do have that solid, sturdy place to come from. And so you can be the patient, supportive individual. You can be the calm in the storm for someone who's perhaps more fiery, but not directed. So hopefully that helps. And let's take a look at what the oracle card that we pulled for this reading is. And this is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And your card is Magic. And it says, the frequency of magic supports our intrinsic ability to grow and expand beyond this moment, to move toward possibilities and expressions that are as grand and profound as we can imagine. All that is required is our belief in their manifestation. So I feel like this is kind of more of a general message to interacting with this energy in general. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can transform whatever situation in whatever way you need to. Maintain that belief in yourself. Help others maintain that belief in themselves. And that will take you a long way to being a successful part of the collective energy. So I hope that this has helped. I hope that you are well. I hope that you are safe. I'm sending love and I'm sending blessings. And I appreciate you for being here. If you have any comments, I would love to hear them. I would be so grateful to hear from you. If this reading didn't really resonate with you, it might not be the right reading. Feel free to choose another one, but hopefully it did. And I thank you for being here. Hi, this is the reading for Group 2, the Tibetan Quartz group. We are examining the question of how can you best interact with the collective energy right now. So Spirit, if you could give us some messages for Group 2 on how they can best interact with the collective energy right now. How can Group 2 best interact with the collective energy right now? How can they most successfully, for the greatest good of all, interact with the collective energy right now? Cards for Group 2, please. How can Group 2 best interact with the collective energy right now? What is the best way for them, for their energy to share in the collective? Okay, well, I guess this deck doesn't want to give us any more cards, so let's look at this. So, this is a very specific message, so I guess it's fine that we just got this one card. This is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups talks about community. It talks about joyful interaction with others. So this card is very much saying that you should not isolate yourself. You need to be interacting with other people in a positive way. And that doesn't necessarily mean partying or, you know, having a great time, but it does mean interacting with each other very positively, to maybe just support one another emotionally, to maybe brainstorm some wonderful ideas of how you can come together to feel better. This doesn't necessarily have to be in person. You know, nowadays we've gotten quite good at virtual interaction. But it seems to be saying that not just that you need one confidant or a best friend or your spouse, it's saying you need to actually get out and get together, or reach out and get together with a group of people. It's good for your soul and you need it. So let's get a different deck, since this one didn't seem to want to cooperate. So Spirit, can you give us some more information on how group 2 can best interact with the collective energy right now? Okay, so we got the Fool, and the Fool is about being carefree, about setting out on a journey, about just being excited, going on an adventure. It can be a little frivolous sometimes, but you know, with this card of getting together with a community, I think this is saying that you need to get together, you need to be with other people, and you need to do things that perhaps take your mind off of conflicts that are going on right now. Enjoy yourselves. Do something a little crazy. You might want to have that one friend who keeps you from getting thrown in jail, but and it doesn't necessarily have to mean crazy like that, but it can just be, you know, maybe getting together with friends and, I don't know, let's start a community garden, or let's take out a boat on the water, or you know, start a new book club. It's whatever it is that you think sounds like it would be something that would uplift your spirit as well as those that you interact with. Something that's new, though, something that you don't do all the time. This is, you know, this is like, let's step out, let's do something that we don't usually do, and have fun. And then the other card that we got was the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card of good fortune. So I think that this, and a card of happiness. And I think that's what this card is saying. I think this is saying, you know, spin the wheel, do something you've not done before, take a risk, but something that's happy. And, you know, it's not take a risk like go and bet on the stock market. It's more, you know, go out, be carefree, try something that you've not done before, maybe a new restaurant, or, you know, a new roller coaster, or going to a new place. You know, it can be traveling to a new place. Get together with those people that make you feel whole, those people that make you happy and excited, and forget your troubles and interact with them. What else can you tell us, Spirit? Who is it that group 2 can most beneficially interact with? Are there specific people or groups that are most beneficial for them to get together with? Who is it that group 2 can most beneficially get together with? Okay. Okay, so bottom of the deck energy, the Justice card. So this is saying get together with people who share your views on things. And I don't necessarily mean, you know, like political views or anything like that. I'm just saying get together with people who enjoy the same things that you enjoy. But people who have maybe a different slant on things to kind of balance each other out. So this is getting together with people who enjoy the same things you do, can maybe give you a little balance, who will help you to use good judgment. The other card that we got is the Star card, and the Star card talks of reaching your dreams. So you know, this interaction that you're going to have with this group, it may be well beyond just going out and having a good time. This is saying that you're going to do something that you really, really wanted to do. You've never done it before. Perhaps you were inhibited about it. It might be something that was pretty bold, but you've always kind of wanted to do it. And now you're saying, you know, why have I not done this all along? Why have I never taken the chance to do this thing, whatever this thing might be? You know, it's not necessarily a reckless thing. It's not a harmful thing. It's not a damaging kind of thing, but it's just a thing that you've never felt maybe confident enough to do. You know, it's always been something that you wanted to try. It's always been something that you wanted to invest your time in. And it very likely, it pretty much has to involve other people, which might be what was holding you back from doing this in the past. You know, it might be that you just thought, oh man, if I bring that up, everybody's going to go, "Guy, you're such a weirdo," you know, or something like that. They would be afraid to do it with you, but more likely you have maybe feared their disapproval. But the time has come to say, hey guys, what do you think about doing this? And this bunch of people is going to say, heck yeah, we want to do something new and fun and wonderful that's going to make us incredibly happy. So go for it. The other cards that we got the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is a card about kind of stockpiling. So this again tells me that you've been sitting on this idea, you've been sitting on this want, you know, this thing that you really would really make you happy, would really give you a sense of just flat out solid, wonderful happiness. You know, it's the kind of thing that you go out and you do it, and you're a little nervous when you get started, but you just get lost in it, and you come home afterwards and you just go, wow, that was a great day. So you're sitting there and you're kind of putting this idea aside. You're saving it for a rainy day, but the time has passed for you to be doing that. You know, the time now is to act on this, not to be safe about it anymore. Also, we got the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is kind of a cautionary card. The Seven of Swords talks about somebody who is not being honest with you. So when you do this thing, there may be someone in your group that is trying to undermine the whole situation. They are not all in to do this, whatever this is, or join in. And they're trying to hold back. They're trying to keep something that really, I hesitate to say doesn't belong to them. I'm hearing doesn't belong to them in my head, but I think what that really means is that they are, if they hold back, they are going to be taking the joy from the whole group. They're going to be, I mean, not necessarily if they decide not to involve themselves in this. You know, if they step away, that's one thing. But if they go along and they're still dragging their heels and making everyone else feel self-conscious about this, then they're stealing the happiness of the group. So keep your eyes out for that individual, and either try and talk them into doing this, or better yet, you know, if it seems like they just can't commit, then maybe step away from them. They just might not be the right energy right now. And yeah, the other card that we get is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is is, I think, a confirmation that you need to let this person, whoever this is, go. That's not going to be adding to the joy of the situation. This is kind of battling with, and this is an energy of battling with something that you don't even know what you're battling, really. You're feeling like there's something coming at you, but you're not even sure where it's coming from or what it's about. But you just know that you don't want it, and it is like potentially going to do harm. So you're sort of fighting blind. So, you know, again, I think that this is saying that there's going to be someone in this group that is going to undermine or try to undermine the situation. And you may not even realize it. It may be the person that you least suspect. But maybe go into the situation knowing that there might be some resistance on someone's part, and that resistance is going to affect the entire situation, not just them. So Spirit, in what manner can group 2 most effectively interact with the collective energy? I think we've already seen that. I think it's, you know, sort of a physical, emotional interaction, but let's just get a little bit more information on how group 2 can, in what manner is it best for them to interact with these individuals or this situation, this energy. What is the best manner for group 2 to interact with the collective energy to bring about the greatest good for all? Spirit, thank you. And please. So I think Spirit has already given their answer on that one. Okay, well, there's one more card that they decided to throw into the mix just in case we didn't get the message the first time. Someone is going to be stabbing you in the back. There is definitely someone in this group, and it is, I believe, a physical group of individuals. It's not like a group of energies or, you know, something more abstract. I think it's very, very specifically a real group of people, and someone is going to be stabbing you in the back. So again, you need to be wary of that. Okay, so Spirit, what energy can this group tap into to nurture themselves as well as nurturing the energy of the group? You know, what role are they going to play in this gathering? What energy should they be tapping into to best serve the group? Okay. Let's get some different cards. Those are not what we need. So, Spirit, what role is group 2 going to play in this gathering? What is their energy that will best serve them, to nurture them, as well as the group? What's their role? Okay, so, okay. Well, this is a little confusing. So we got the Judgment card, which is basically, I feel like we already did this. No, maybe not. It must have been the other group. Sorry. The Judgment card. So judgment doesn't necessarily mean passing judgment on individuals. It could be using good judgment. It could be the planner of the group. It could be the one who puts everything together. in a fair and balanced way, or, you know, tries to balance out all the arrangements. You know, so-and-so can come on Monday, but so-and-so can only come on Tuesday, and, you know, 6 of the people can come on Tuesday and 1 can only come on Monday, but maybe if it's a specific Monday, then they can all come, or a specific Tuesday. Anyway, this individual might be that person. You might be that person who organizes things. You also might be the individual who is kind of the go-between. If this individual who has some negative energy does not get identified before things are in play and something happens when things are underway, you might be the individual that says, hey, you know, we're not going to let this ruin our good time. You, meaning the individual with the negative aspect, can either join in or please leave. You might be the one who has to make that judgment call. So maybe that's what your role is in this. You're the one who works out the kinks. Not necessarily the peacekeeper. I don't think you're necessarily a peacekeeper, because I don't think you're going to just pacify everybody. But I think I think you're going to be the one to say, look, this is the way it's going to go. You know, we planned on doing this. We're going to do this. If you don't like it, you can hit the road. The 4 of Cups talks about some regret. So I feel like you may feel some regret if you have to have that role, if you have to. I mean, this might be one of those deals where you're trying to get everything set up and everybody goes, that sounds great, just let me know, you know, and nobody will commit to anything. So I feel like this could be the energy that will hold you back from best interacting or best contributing your energy to the collective. So don't get caught up in this energy. You know, if I think this is going back to the Judgment card again. I think this is saying, you know, if everybody is being non-committal, if they're just like, okay, whatever you want, I'm good, let me know, you know, and then you'd never hear back from them again. Okay, you know, I think this is saying, step up, don't let this energy take over, and just make the decision and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it on this day. We're going to do it at this time and at this place. And if you want to come, we would love to see you. But if you can't come, I'm not going to wallow about it, okay? And then the other energy, the other card that we got is the Sun card. And the Sun card is, you know, kind of the completion of everything, or close to it. The Sun card is a very warm energy, a very playful energy, a very happy energy. So, you know, this is basically saying, get this stuff rolling, and it's going to be a great energy boost for everyone involved. So, you know, this is how you contribute. You get everything in the works. You just make a decision and don't look back, and you act upon it, and everybody is going to benefit from this. Everyone is going to be lifted and energized and happy. And so this, you know, this reading is saying this is how you can best serve the collective energy right now. Get them together. Remind them that they love each other and they want to interact with each other and they energize each other. And that's your role. That's what you do. That's how you best interact with the collective energy right now. So let's see what our oracle card is. This is the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And your card is Authority. So I'd say that pretty much plays out what we were just talking about. You're the authority. You're the one who's going to take the authority, and you're going to do what needs to get done to get this party started, basically. The card says the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So, you know, don't get caught up in going, oh, geez, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. People are going to be relieved that you take the initiative and get this rolling and work out the details for them. Even if it doesn't work out for some of them, you know, even if they can't make it, even if even if they can't gather with you or their feelings are hurt. I feel like that's not going to be the case, though. I feel like, everybody's going to go, geez, I am so sorry I missed that. But please, I hope we do it again, because it sounds like you guys had a great time, and I love you all, so I am glad you had a great time, even though I couldn't come. So don't get caught up in worrying about hurting somebody's feelings. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Take the authority. Just take the reins and make it happen. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that this gives you a direction to take in this time that we're dealing with right now, or whenever you're listening to this. If your energy is feeling stuck, if your energy is feeling low, if your energy is feeling damaged and harmed and affronted, or if your energy is feeling fine, this is for you a way to get that energy out there to everybody else. And it's not just the people that you gather with either. When you gather with people and you boost their energy and you give them joy and happiness and fun, they go back home and they spread that joy and happiness and fun to their families, and their families go out and they spread that joy and happiness to their coworkers or their schoolmates or whoever they interact with, or hold the door open for somebody and give them a smile, buy somebody's coffee. So it may not seem like, it may even seem selfish to get together, people to celebrate, but it's not. Energetically, it's not. Maybe in the material world it might look like that, but again, that's ego. That's just your ego talking. The ego wants everything to look nice, but the energy knows that energy spreads and energy builds. And so make your energy positive. Make everybody else around you, make their energy positive, or give them the opportunity to have positive energy, and it'll spread. And that's exactly what we want. So thank you so much for being here. I send you love and blessings and happiness. And I hope this helped and resonated with you. If it did, I would love to hear a comment from you. I would love any feedback. If it didn't resonate with you, it may not be the right reading, so you may want to pick another reading. But certainly I hope it did resonate with you. And so thank you so much for being here. Hi. So this is the reading for group 3, the Soapstone Harmonizer disc. We're looking at the question of how can you best interact with the collective energy right now. So Spirit, if you could give us some guidance on how group 3 can best interact with the collective energy right now. What is their most productive way? What is their most mutually beneficial way of interacting with the collective right now? How can they be a part of that? How can they add positivity to the collective? The first card that we got was the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is next to the Lovers, one of the strongest cards of harmony and love in the deck. Pentacles deals with, you know, kind of the material world. So this card is a card of your relationships, your stability, your sense of happiness. You know, this is a card that's saying you are feeling fulfilled right now with regard to being filled up in your heart. You've got something that's stable, you've got something that's good, you've got something that just feels, it's beyond comfortable, but it's not like infatuation and it's not like crazy wildness. It's just a solid, good feeling. The Page of Cups. So whatever this is that's causing or that's giving you this great feeling, and it may very well be a relationship. It might be fairly new. The Page of Cups is cups are about emotions, and the page is sort of a youthful energy. So this might be a new love that you have just entered into. Or, you know, you're still in that honeymoon phase, perhaps. It might be new friendship as well. But I feel like it is more of a love interest, and perhaps it's a friendship that might turn into love. Maybe that's what this is talking about. But I feel like that's going on in your life right now. And the other card we got is the Lovers. So, okay, it's a love relationship. Okay, Spirit, thank you so much for that. Oh, they're so funny. Yeah, so this is a love. This is a love interest. This is apparently it's the real deal, because, you know, the Page of Cups, this is like new emotion, just feeling great, feeling rejuvenated, and this, you know, says that this relationship feels really solid, it feels really nurturing, it feels really good. So right now, the way that you are best interacting with the collective is to be in this relationship, to be starting this relationship. There's nothing that feels better than young love. There's just absolutely nothing better. And so by being in that energy, you actually already are contributing a lot to the collective energy. You know, energy flows from us out into the collective, and that may be, you know, even if you don't believe or aren't on the bandwagon with, you know, energy affecting each other, or perhaps you're just not an empath, or you don't quite yet know of energy like that, but energy actually can flow into the material world through what we do. And when we're in love, we're happy. Most everything is happy. And even things that are aggravating or irritating or harmful or scary aren't as aggravating or irritating or harmful or scary, because we're in love. You know, so that slight that you get from someone as they pass you in the hall and maybe bump into your shoulder, it doesn't matter. You don't even notice it. Or the car that cuts you off in traffic, it's fine. You know, I've got somebody who loves me. So you're already contributing to that energy just by being happy. And by being happy, you're going to do things that are kind and loving. So that's a great way to start out contributing your energy to the collective. Spirit, can you tell us a little bit more about this? You know, in a bigger sense, in a broader sense, how is this individual best contributing to the collective? Okay. So now we've got the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, this is talking about standing together with family or with close friends. So this relationship here is actually bringing together your circle of family or friends. I don't know if you've, gotten into a relationship with someone who is in your circle of friends or came into your circle of friends, or perhaps one of your friends married somebody and their brother or sister or friend or cousin or something has been introduced to you through this family group, and you have fallen in love. You started a relationship with that individual, so you're bringing together a bigger group. You're strengthening your nuclear group here through this relationship. So you're contributing not just to each other, but you're contributing to a wider audience here. You're contributing, your family's really happy about it, or your friends just think it's great because, now your friend's spouse or whoever it is that brought this person to you, now that whole group is going to come in and be part of this whole group. And so now it's becoming, a much bigger thing. And you're all really enjoying each other's company. It's new people and they're all wonderful. And so this energy is coming about from this relationship that you have started recently or are entering into now, that you're actually strengthening and widening your circle of friends or family. So Spirit, in what manner, is there something more beyond just being in this relationship that group 3 can do to contribute to and interact with the collective energy to the benefit of all? Specifically, what manner of interaction can group 3 have with the collective energy? What way are they interacting? Is this physical interaction? Is this emotional interaction? What is the best way for them to contribute to the collective energy, to interact with the collective energy so that it's beneficial to everyone? Okay. So the first card, okay, there's a couple of cards here that came up that the Two of Wands is about looking out to the world and seeing what else is out there. So I feel like that this circle that you're expanding there's even more to it than this. And I feel like there is perhaps an individual who's part of the original circle of this new person that's in your life, this new love that's in your life, has someone in their circle who needs to be supported, who's having a hard time. And I think this is saying that you need to look out there and see who this individual is, and maybe identify if there's someone in this extended group from your new love who really needs somebody. And I don't mean somebody like, in a love relationship, but they just are struggling right now. And I feel like this is maybe an individual that you would really connect with. It's kind of like you get married and you come to realize over time that you just really like your new brother-in-law. He's great, he's fun, love to hang out with him. It's a wonderful dynamic. So, I think that maybe this individual, whoever this is, right now they really need somebody. And that I think it could be very mutually beneficial to both of you to reach out to this individual. Also, I'm seeing a real preponderance of 2s in this reading. So this individual, it might have something to do with February. It might be their birthday. It might be, I'm doing this recording in February, but just barely, so it might be something that happens right in February. It could be, we're in 2022, so it might be this year. There's been just a huge preponderance of 2s lately. But this is also speaking of 2s. This is the 2 card. We've got the Lovers, which has 2 birds on it. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of 2s here. So it may have something to do with 2. Maybe the second letter in the alphabet. Maybe this person whose name starts with B. I don't know, but there's something to do with 2s. So look around and see if you can determine who this individual might be, because by reaching out to that individual, again, I think you're really going to be adding to the energy of the collective by helping this individual. And I think that this individual is, really feeling attacked for some reason. We got the 8 of Wands, and all of this energy, this mean, awful intent is coming toward someone, and I don't think it's coming toward you. I think it's coming toward this other individual. I think that they are feeling really, really attacked right now, and they may know why. I think they've done something that they know invoked this attack, but I don't think that they feel like it's justified. I think that they are kind of confused as to why they are being attacked as fervently as they are. Maybe they've been ostracized from the family. And I feel like that maybe something got confused or miscommunicated at some point. And so, it's like he said, she said, did you hear what so-and-so did? And, it's not the whole story. And so I think that maybe this is part of the energy that's going on with this individual, that they're being attacked, and they don't quite understand why. They know that there was something that they did or said that they shouldn't have, but it didn't seem like it should be this severe. So something has gotten kind of miscommunicated along the way. And I think that as an outsider to this dynamic, a new coming into this dynamic, you may have the ability to suss out the details, to talk to both sides without, causing anger because you're taking sides, and figure out kind of maybe where the miscommunication is and help these 2 sides to come back together. We also got the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is a card of abundance. There is just abundance everywhere in this card. So, this is saying, that I think that your relationship is going to be long and happy and just full of joy, and you're going to be successful because you're happy all the time. You're going to go on in your life and have lots of abundance, perhaps, a family. This is just a very strong card of abundance. And I think, again, if you bring the family back together, for whatever this over here, whatever this injury is, or this argument is, I think that's only going to help this abundance, because, these are going to be people that are going to be in your life for a long time now. And so if you can bring them all together, that's certainly going to make for a happier existence on down the road. You don't have to, split everything up, this side and that side, because they're not speaking to each other. So I think, this is speaking to not only the relationship here, but and going forward, but also, fixing this problem over here, using your collective, your energy into the collective to help repair that rift. And both of these cards actually would help speak to that. The Justice card, the Chariot card. The Chariot card says that you are moving ahead in your life in a very positive way. You are in charge. You are confident. You're moving forward, and it's the road's wide open. The path is open to you. It's a great open, inviting world out there. And the Justice card the justice, I think, would be saying at this point that this is really going to balance your life a lot for you. Being in this relationship and having these individuals around you who are very supportive, who are happy for you, is really going to give you some balance in your life. It's going to calm you down a little bit. Perhaps you've been a little flighty or wild or impulsive in the past, and this is going to kind of settle things down, sort of more of a, you know, a family vibe, more of a, you're going to have more confidence and more control. You're going to have, you're going to feel like you are more in control of your life, and people are going to see that, and people are going to react to that, and they're going to trust you more. Not that they necessarily didn't trust you before, but now maybe they're going to put you more in a position that's more lucrative, that's more that pays you back more, that gives you more satisfaction, that gives you more responsibility, because, you know, with this newfound confidence and happiness and positivity, you feel solid, you feel good, and they're going to see that, and they're going to reward that. So there's that. Okay, let's see. So let's take a look at what energy can group 3 tap into to help support them as they contribute to the collective energy, to keep them strong, to keep them whole. What energy can they tap into? Wow, that one just flew right out of there. Okay. All right, I don't think we need any more cards for this question. The Hermit card came up. So, and this is kind of surprising because this has not been part of this reading at all up until now, but it makes sense. This card is saying that there are going to be times you're going to need to take some time to go inward, to reflect, to re-energize yourself. You know, I think that with all of this group energy, it's happy and it's supportive for the most part. You know, especially once this gets worked out, I think you'll have a lot of happiness, a lot of support. But I also think that this is going to kind of open you up to a lot more, perhaps, social interaction than you're used to. A lot of energy coming your way, and you know, the energy looks to be fairly positive, but even positive energy gets a little overwhelming sometimes, and there's always squabbles that happen. And so I think that opening yourself up to this bigger nuclear family, or this bigger group, this bigger dynamic with more individuals, you know, whenever you have more people in the mix, there's always, even if there's not necessarily squabbles and disagreements, you know, even if there's not negative energy, there's just a lot of energy. And sometimes, you know, being in a room where there's 6 different conversations going on at once and people are having a wonderful time, can be a lot, you know. Even if it's all happy energy, it's still just a lot. It can kind of deplete you if you're in the midst of that and you don't have a chance to step away and kind of let things settle a little bit and rest and regenerate and rejuvenate. You know, it's like if you haven't eaten for a long time and you're starting to get kind of shaky, if you just keep on trying to push through it, you're just going to get worse and headachy and shaky, and really you won't be able to accomplish much. So this is just saying that with all of this new interaction, all these new people in your life, even if they're positive, don't forget to take some time for yourself to refresh, to re-energize, to rejuvenate. And even if that means, you know, taking this time together, don't get stuck in the trap that you've always got to be spending time with the gang, with the family, you know, that people will be hurt if you don't want to always be spending time with them. You know, definitely probably are going to want to get together and be together as a family. But, you know, if every once in a while you have to say, hey, you know, for this holiday, we're going to go away, just the 2 of us. Or even if you have to say to whoever this individual is that you're in a relationship with now, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to take a walk by myself. I'm going to go running. I'm going to do whatever it is you want to do. You know, if you need to take some time alone, then do it. It's good for your relationship. It's good for your relationship one-on-one. It's good for your relationship in the bigger context of a family or a group of friends, or just your circle in general. So remember to take time for yourself. That's what's going to replenish you. That's going to serve you in your interactions with the collective energy, is from time to time taking time for yourself and just re-energizing. Okay, so I think that was a great reading. I think that was a very, very positive reading. So again, your way to best interact with the collective energy is to be in this great relationship and to expand into the relationships that come with it, in a very, happy, positive way, to be the one to be the olive branch bearer, to bring this rift, to fix this rift, to repair it, to bring all of these individuals back together. I think they'll be grateful. And that, again, will make the energy much happier. But don't forget to rest and regenerate once in a while. So let's take a look at the oracle card that we drew from the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. And the card that you got is Transition. So transition says, the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So you're kind of in a transition phase right now. You're transitioning from perhaps a single individual, or even if you've not been entirely single, I feel like you're transitioning to more of a committed partnership that will be not necessarily two individuals who are occupying the same space, but two energies that are intertwined, going forward and creating something completely new. So I think that's the transition there. I think that's it's rather than just being a couple of individuals who, or even a family or a group of friends who are spending time together and enjoying each other. This is going to become something that is transformative. It's going to change the dynamics. It's going to change the really just the dynamics of all involved. You're going to become something new, something better. So that was really a very hopeful reading, and I hope it resonated with you. If it did resonate with you, I would love to hear your comments. And if you would be interested to subscribe to my channel, that would be great too. If it didn't resonate with you, feel free to choose a different reading. This may not have been the right reading for you. And I am wishing you all the best, happiness, blessings, peace in particular right now. So best to you, and I hope that this helps you. Thank you.